Good morning. How are you doing this morning? It's a beautiful day, and I'm happy to be here with you guys. Give me just a second. All right, let me pull this up on my phone really quick. I don't know how quick, but there we go. All right. Whoop, one more thing. All right. So let me take a sip of my coffee while I give people a chance to see that I'm here. I love a good cup of coffee in the morning. And I love being here with you guys in the morning too. Two of my happy things, right? Well, we've got a good discussion today. I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've had a couple of days of extra relaxation because of, we had this winter storm that came through. And of course, here in Georgia, the roads were kind of icy and I didn't have to get out. So, it was glorious. The day the snow hit, I spent the entire day in the living room with the fire going, and it just felt so glorious. And then yesterday I had an amazing day. I did a little bit on the computer, but I spent a lot of the day just kind of regrouping, recalibrating, and getting in touch with some of the things that I want in my life. And I hope you guys have had an opportunity to do that as well. And I know we've got people in the group from all walks of life. And so anybody that is dealing with all of the fires, my heart goes out to you. I mean, we're dealing with some ice and snow, and it's nothing compared to the fires and all that you guys are going through. And so I'm just sending you peace, love, and light, and any type of energy that will help you to feel as good as possible as you're dealing with all the things that you're dealing with. And so anybody in the group that is touched by the fires in any way, shape, or form, my heart goes out to you. I just want to say that. And so now let's get to our affirmation. So today's affirmation is, I am fully capable of aligning with my mission and living it every day. My purpose guides me, and I trust in my ability to fulfill it with confidence and grace. And so some of my quiet time that I've had was getting in touch a little bit more with my why. What is it that I love about doing this work? And what do I want to gift the world? What do I want to help the world do, or the people? Maybe not the entire world, but you know how it is. It's like you help one person who does something and helps somebody else, and it can actually be worldwide that you've touched one little person, one little thing as it goes. We have no idea how far that ripple that we create goes. And so I really wanted to spend some of that quiet time that I had. No, I didn't sit there and meditate the whole time. I didn't sit there and just ponder this the whole time. I watched some TV. I played with the dog. I sat and petted him and just snuggled in front of the fireplace. But the thing is that downtime for me gave me so much more clarity on some of the things that I want to do in my life. So that's where this affirmation came from. And so I want this to be true for you as well. And if it's not true now, then we can rephrase it a little bit so it feels more aligned. But maybe if you're not here in this place right now and it feels like too big a stretch to say, then you can say, I'm becoming fully capable of aligning with my mission. I'm learning to be fully capable. So you can change it a little bit just so that your conscious and your subconscious mind can kind of be on board together, and it feels aligned with who you are and who you aspire to be. But it doesn't feel like it's so far away that it gives you a little angst to say it. That's what we want to make sure of. Is so if it ever is an affirmation that I give you or anybody else gives you that feels like, yeah, but that's not true, that's not me, then it's time to tweak it a little bit so that you can actually feel a little bit more aligned with it. Because sometimes a full statement of this is me is like too in your face. And so you have to kind of go under the radar a little bit with that subconscious mind and tell it that you're becoming, because it can't argue with that, because you can always be becoming something more, learning something more, right? And so you use it in whatever capacity you need to use it, but use it, right? And remember, anything that comes after the words I am is ultra powerful. It is claiming it to be true, right? And we do that all the time with all kinds of things that we do not want in our lives. So really, really start, if you're not already, start paying attention to anytime you say the words I am, what did you just say after it? And then is that something you really want? Like, what was it I heard somebody say yesterday? Um, she was using her I am statement about how she was being exposed to the flu. It was flu season and she was sure she was going to get it, right? So her statement was something about she was trying to get the flu and kind of in some ways like that, right? But she had I am in front of it. Or maybe even if you say that you're fighting to not get the flu, right? The thing is that in that moment that you say that, that is your journey. That is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be struggling and fighting, and things are going to be hard, and it's probably going to exhaust you to the point that your immune system is going to be lowered, and voila, you'll get it, right? So just be mindful and start noticing, because before I learned this, I was saying a lot of I am statements that were so disempowering and that were really calling to me vibrationally all the crap I didn't want, right? And so I'm just asking you to notice, because when you can see what you're doing, it's easier to change it around. So you can change it to where, so if the statement was about getting a cold, right? You can say, I feel like there's a cold coming on, but my immune system's good, so I don't have to worry about it. Just change the phrasing a little bit instead of claiming it as true, right? So I am fully capable of aligning with my mission and living it every day. Well, that also implies that you know what your mission is, right? And so what is your mission? Do you know what your mission is? Do you feel like it's something that is just right here, or is it just something like, I have no clue? I have no clue, right? I just know I'm here for something. I know I'm meant for more, but I don't know what that thing is. So it could be, I'm fully capable of discovering and aligning with my mission. So what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is that each one of these affirmations can be tweaked just a little bit to make them personable to you. And so if this looks perfect to you, because this one is mine and I share it with you. So if this is just the least bit off, then just make it yours, right? Make it you. And it's very easy to do. all you got to do is look at those words a little at a time. And if you need to put something right before something or right after something, you just do that. And I would love if you end up, that's something that you feel like you need to do in your life. I would love for you to share the rephrasing of the affirmation for yourself, because there may be somebody else that feels the same as you do, and they can't quite figure out how to alter it. And I will say, if there's something that's coming up and you can't figure it out and you want to reach out to me in a direct message, definitely do so, and I'll help you with that, because I want you to get the most benefit from these statements as possible. So back to the affirmation, I am fully capable of aligning with my mission and living it every day. My purpose guides me, and I trust in my ability to fill it with confidence and grace. Confidence and grace. Doesn't that feel good? All right. So now I'm going to grab the journal prompt, and let's see, does it all fit on there? Let's see. Yay, it fits. All right. So the journal prompt for today is, what does living in alignment with your mission look and feel like? Because remember, one of the things that helps us to bring things to us and allow things to magnetically be drawn to us, right, is to feel what we're talking about. So when we're doing our affirmation, we want to do it with feeling, right? And when we're looking at our mission, what is our mission, our purpose in life? Do we even know? And as we're getting to the place where we do know, and maybe, a lot of times when people are looking at what is their purpose, they're trying to find this big grand thing, right? And maybe you don't need to do a grand thing right now. You just need to have a purpose for, let's say it's a purpose for your month or a purpose for your year. What would you really like to accomplish in 2025? And who are you looking to help, right? Because our missions are usually something that we're doing for the world, something that we're doing for others. And whether it's we want to be a teacher, we want to be a beacon of light, we want to be an inspiration, we want to help people to love their bodies more, we want to help people be healthier, we want to help people find their voice and get up and talk and be able to express themselves. Whatever it is that you feel deep inside that you want to do, look at it as that's your mission, right? And when you're living in alignment with that mission, let's say you're wanting to help people get healthier, right? And you're living in that mission, you're living in that. And you are making a difference for people. You're helping people that would be in a really bad place health-wise without you, right? And when you're doing that, what does that look like? And more importantly, what does it feel like when people reach out to you and say, you've saved my life. You've made such a difference in my life. And I thank you. I mean, what does it feel like when you realize that what you do helps people, right? What does it feel like? What does it look like when you're doing that? What do you look like when somebody reaches out and says, thank you so much? I've got a friend right now he's a cancer coach. And he and I went to the same school for health coaching, life coaching, master transformational coaching. We did all that together, right? And he is a cancer survivor. And so as he survived cancer and he learned more about all these things that we learned about, and he also got a nutrition certification and everything too. And he helps people all the time. I had a person on my Facebook page, in one of my groups that I saw, that had a brother that was told that he needed to just make his amends with the world and just go ahead and know he was going to die. And she had posted something in one of the groups, and I saw her post, and my heart just went out at all the things that were going on. And she was asking for us all to pray for her. So I did that. And then I reached out and I said, hey, I said, I don't know if this is anything that you're interested in. However, I have a friend who specializes in cancer. He's a cancer coach. And I said, reach out to him and see if he can help him. And I was not the coach that helped, right? Because she did hire the family, got together, and they hired George's to come and help. But she reached out to me and told me how grateful she was that I saw her post and that I gave her a beacon of hope, and that George's had been able to help him to the point that he was actually awake, aware. He was looking forward to life. He was eating. He was doing things that the doctors said he would never do, right? The doctors told him to just go ahead and die. And so even though I'm not the coach that helped him, it felt amazing for her to reach out and me realize that I created a ripple, right? All I did was connect the two people, that he was able to help that family. And could I have done the same thing? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't specialize in cancer, but he did. And I just knew in my heart that that was the perfect person to help them. And so, see, when you're living your mission and your alignment, it doesn't necessarily mean you're the only one doing the thing, right? It could be that you connect people together that can help one another. And one of the things I say all the time is that, I'm a master transformational coach and a hypnotist. You can reach out to me and we can have a conversation, but maybe I'm not the right person to help you. But if not, I have a lot of people in my world that can help. Like, I shared George's information with her for her brother. So you create ripples even when you do something like that, right? And when you think about it, now this is not a mission thing, but how often do you watch a movie, or do you go to the movies, or watch a series or something, or even a YouTube or a podcast, and then you tell somebody, oh my gosh, you've got to go listen to this because it is amazing. You've got to go watch this movie. It was so good, right? How many times do you do something like that? We do that all the time, right? And we can do the same when it comes to people, right? Good morning. Yes, connections are great and networking is key. Yes, Ellen, good morning. Good morning. So the thing I want you to be mindful of is your mission. If your mission is to help people get healthier, then you help people get healthier, even if it's you connect them with someone else that specializes in something that you don't specialize in, right? And a lot of times people will compensate you for that. I've never asked for anything like that. I've had a few people say, thank you so much for the connection. What can I do to support you? Right. And then I'll tell them if I've got a program going on or something's going on that they can tell their people about. Maybe I can come in their group and talk or whatever it is. But it is when you know what your mission is and you are living in alignment with it, what does it look like? If for me, the more I get into my mission and the more I connect with people, the more it feels like I have this fluent place of alignment with whoever I'm talking to. And then I can discern really quickly how I can help them. And if I'm not, I am so open to sharing someone else with them to help them, because my mission is to make a bigger difference in the world. My mission is to leave the world a better place than when I got here, right? and to leave a legacy, to be remembered as someone who was kind and compassionate and helpful and all these things, right? That's almost bringing tears to my eyes, right? So when you talk about what your mission is, does it make you tearful? Does it make you feel emotional? Does it make you feel, oh my gosh, this is it? And if not, then let's play with that a little bit and get you in touch with your mission, get you in touch with what it would look like and feel like if you were completely in alignment with it. And then you want to write down how you can take one step today to align with your purpose and bring it to life. And maybe there's more than one step. Write out what your vision is and what the first step is, because a lot of times we start, the reason I'm saying one step today is a lot of times we stop ourselves because we're thinking of a whole bunch of steps and we just cannot figure out how to do them all. Or we're thinking ahead to where we're starting with step 10. And then it feels overwhelming, right? What does it say? Discern is key in openness. However, I've had mean people attempting to knock me off my balance and purpose. Well, I'm glad they haven't done that, Ellen, because the thing is, it's more about them than it is about you. And I'm sure you know that. Some people, for whatever reason, they do not like it when somebody goes beyond where they are. And, especially when it comes to acquaintances, friends, family, sometimes those people unknowingly, or maybe they know, are trying to chop off our feet out from under us, because the more you move towards something that's amazing, the more they notice that theirs isn't, and it bothers them, right? And sometimes it's just, especially if it's somebody that you know well and you've known for a long time and have seen you as who you were before you started this journey, it's because they cannot see you any other way, right? Negative Nellies, yes. And I shared this story the other day, and I don't know if you were here, Ellen, when I shared it, but I'm going to share it again for anybody that's watching or listening. Let's see so anybody that's watching or listening, I had this friend who, and this has been quite a few years ago, and she had a sister that had a screwed up life. I mean, a screwed up life. She was always bouncing from one thing to the other, trying to find the magic thing, right? And she never had any money. She kept having to get bailed out of all financial situations. And then her life looked like a mess, right? And so this friend of mine was telling me that her sister had become a life coach. And so my friend and her husband were laughing about this person, her sister, being a life coach, because she said she's not a life coach. Hell, she can't even get her life straightened out. And they spent a lot of time. I don't know what they said to her personally, but to other people, they talked about the fact that it was the silliest thing and the stupidest thing that they had ever seen or heard for her to be talking about this stuff, because that wasn't her, right? And then years later, I've lost contact with this friend. And years later, when I reconnected with this friend, she told me that hold on one second. Sorry, I had a sneeze coming on. But she told me that the sister was a life coach. She was very well known, and she did retreats. She did all these things, and she was hiring my friend to come to her retreats and help with the paperwork and with getting people situated. And she was working for her. And you see, the thing was that other people that didn't know her when she was going through this process of learning and becoming a life coach felt she was a life coach. But her sister and the rest of her family, who knew her to be this person that didn't have their shit together for nothing, they kept almost pulling her back, right? Because they couldn't believe her to be what other people saw. And then the more she learned and grew, the more other people saw who she was. And it took a few years before the family started seeing her in that light, right? And so sometimes the people that are being what did you call it? Negative Nellies. It's because they know who you were and they cannot see past that. And unfortunately, sometimes that's us. We can't see past our who we were. And that's where all of those limiting beliefs come from the things that people said or did, or how we were ridiculed about something. And especially as a young child in school, what happens when a kid in the classroom knows the answer, raises their hand, and the teacher says, "Okay, what is it, Joe?" And Joe answers, and it's not right. And then the whole classroom laughs. What happens? A lot of the times, little Joe starts believing he's not smart, right? They don't know me that well, so I'm miffed, but okay. Okay. Well, it could be that there are people in the world, Ellen, like, unfortunately, that want to tear down someone who's doing good because they're not. It doesn't mean that they know you from the past, but it just means that they're, in some ways, maybe they're a little bit jealous. They just wish they had that talent, they had that gift, and they don't find it within themselves. And so it's kind of like the bully at school. It's not necessarily that they don't like the kid, it's that they want to show their domineering aspect. Because they don't believe in themselves, they have to bully other people to feel elevated. And so maybe that's all you got is a yard side bully that is trying to affect who you are. And you just have to say, no, exactly. Unfortunately, I get that. Yeah. Yeah. So if you got a bully in your life, you just kind of send them some love and light and spend your energy somewhere else. Because if you're really energetically getting into you and your mission and your alignment and everything, they may still be there, but they're going to start flying away, floating away, disappearing. And you may have somebody that pops up every now and then that's going to challenge that. And then you just reconnect with your mission and who you are, and that it's them and not you, right? So I don't know if that helps you any, Ellen, but that usually helps me is when, and I shared the other day, hold on, that my sister and I had gone to a store, and this guy that was grabbing the cart right before us you could tell, he was put off by us. I don't know what it was, that it was just my sister and I, and then he was by himself, but he was definitely, something about us triggered something in him. And so he was not nice, right? And so when we got inside the store, and we would see him every now and then, my sister would say, "God, he was so rude." And I said, "Well, I said, we don't know what happened to him this morning. We don't know what happened to him yesterday. And maybe he's just an asshole. I don't know. But I'm not going to let his demeanor upset mine. And I'm just going to, like, right in that moment, I just gave him some love and light, and I hope your day gets better." And then every time I saw him, I would stop. Sometimes I would keep walking, but I would put my hand on my heart and I would say, I send him love and light and peace, and I hope his day gets better. And, that's all I can do. But I chose to not let his, whatever it was, affect me in a bad way. And so a lot of times that's what we have to do. We just have to know, We don't know what's going on. And I shared in the group, and it's been quite a while, so I don't even know where the video is, but I shared a video of a, a, a a person that was being rude and ugly and all this stuff, and then come to find out that their wife had just died, and so they were angry, and everything set them off, right? And so we don't really know what's going on in somebody. And like I said, maybe they're just assholes, and that's okay. They can be that if they want to, just as long as I don't attach to it. And it can be where it's a power thing. Sometimes it's that a behavior that they've learned. Just find a way to get on the other side of it and just send them some good energy, whether you think they deserve it or not, right? Everybody deserves a little bit of love and light, and then we'll see what happens with them, right? So back to our affirmation. I am fully capable of aligning with my mission and living it every day. Every day. My purpose guides me, and I trust in my ability to fulfill it with confidence and grace. Getting in touch with that every day, knowing that you have this purpose, this thing within you that's wanting to be birthed. And maybe it's been birthed and you just gotta, coddle it a little bit. But there's something there. And most of us in this group already have birthed this thing. It's just we're wanting it to nurture it and help it grow. So make sure you put this on your screensaver, your index cards, the sticky notes, put it on the mirror with a chalk marker, put it on a piece of paper and stick it to the fridge. Put it somewhere that you're going to see it today. So today you can be reminded of your mission and you're living your purpose. And trusting your ability to fulfill all of this with confidence and grace. Right? And then our journal prompt. What does living in alignment with your mission look and feel like? Now, before you start writing out the answers to these, like I always recommend, put your affirmation, your journal prompt, and the date inside your notebook or your journal, and then spend 10 to 15 minutes just in total silence, just focusing on your breath. Just focusing on your breath. You count the breaths, you say, breathe in, breathe out, whatever it is, because you can't think two thoughts at the same time. So if you're focused on your breath, you're in the moment, right? And then you'll find most of us find that suddenly we think we're focusing on our breath, and then all of a sudden we realize we're analyzing what we're going to do later in the day. And then as soon as that happens, you bring it back to your breath and you keep going, right? So that you're in the moment. And then what that's doing is that is helping you to get in touch with your inner guidance, your inner voice, your intuition, your subconscious mind, all of this, your God voice. It's all there. But most of the time, we're so busy with so many things that we're not listening. There's little whispers that we hear all the time, but everything else is so loud, we don't even hear it. It's just when you're like, if you've got the TV on and you've got it really, really low and a lot of people are talking and stuff, you can see their mouths moving, but you don't hear a word, right? And that's kind of what we're doing to our subconscious mind, our intuition, our inner guidance. We're allowing so much noise to be happening around us that it can't get a message to us unless it hits us over the head. So why wait till it hits you over the head, right? So tap into that space of just being silent. You've already written this down in your journal, your notebook. And then when you come out of the silence, when your timer goes off in 10, 15 minutes, longer if you can, that's when you start writing down, because your hand is almost like it's the extension of your mind, your extension of God. And so it's going to be able to pour out more than you would even believe possible if you spend some time allowing it to come forth. And then you don't judge anything, you just write it out. What does living in alignment with your mission look and feel like? I mean, that's important to know, right? What does it look like when you're living in your mission? What does it feel like when you're living in your mission? And spend some time just filling that out, just writing, no critiquing, no observing it, just write without even any thought. Just write. And then after that, and you look at all the things that it looks and feels like, then write down, how can you take one step today to align with your purpose and bring it to life? So it's looking at that entire list of all the things of looking and feeling in alignment with your mission. How can you begin to make that true? What's the first step? And I know we've talked similar things before, and sometimes the first step is just to declare it, right? So I would love to know, what's your first step? So if you're watching the replay, definitely share with us what your thoughts are. And if you're watching the replay somewhere that is not part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, you're more than welcome to join us. And you go to VickiePoole.com, VickiePoole.com, and you'll be prompted to answer 3 questions. And you have to answer the questions to be entered into the group. And we've got a couple of really cool experts coming up. All right, so the first one that's coming up is on Monday the 20th at 2 p.m. And this is Jennifer. She is a belly dance expert. And she's going to be on my podcast, but she teaches belly dancing. And for those that are not aware, I have a program right now that is called Shake Your Sugar and Shimmy Your Soul. And it's only a 14-day program. We're about halfway through. And the cool thing is that I'm helping with mindset, right? And I just introduced yesterday a mindfulness eating journal. And so everybody got that yesterday. And then I've done a group hypnosis with everybody about your relationship with your body and with food. And we're going to be doing an EFT thing next week, where we get in touch with our inner guidance and we negate some of the cravings that are plaguing us, right? And then we have Christine, who is actually a nutritionist and a chef. And so she's been sharing nutrition advice. She's been sharing amazing recipes. She's even gone in and been demonstrating. And then we have a belly dance person, not the one that's going to be as the guest expert, because I was trying to get her. And then Christine was able to get this other lady while I was waiting on Jennifer to get back with me. So we went with her. So we have her videos in the program to learn step by step how to do this belly dance routine, right? And so we're going to do it together at the end. But I was connecting with Jennifer, who is another belly dance expert, and I joined her program, her monthly membership, to kind of play with some of this stuff. And I invited her to come in as a guest expert. So that's a very long explanation of why she's going to be here. So on Monday, the 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern, she will be here, right? And then the following Monday at 2 p.m., I've got Jamie B that's going to be here. And she helps people get in touch with the writer within to tell your story and get it out, right? she is a writing expert. And so I'm super excited because I'm already talking to her about helping me to get my story out. And because I've been playing with it and I've got some things done, but it's like one of those things that's just you do some and then you just leave it, right? And I want to be more in alignment with my mission and my goals, right? And so I'm about to start working with her to get my writing done. And so she's agreed to come in as a guest expert. Now, I have not created the event yet, but I will be working on that either today or tomorrow. And because we got a little bit of time, and it'll let you know when she's going to be there and to give you reminders. So make sure that you sign up for those. But we have so much that's going on in this community, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. And so if you're not in the community, then definitely you're going to want to join because we've got some amazing things coming up. And I've actually got somebody else that's already in the lineup for February. We just haven't solidified the date yet. So I'm working to make sure that I share with you as much as possible. And then I have amazing people sharing something. And so if you are looking for a way to move your body more and have fun with it, definitely show up for Jennifer's talk because she's going to talk a little bit about why it's such an amazing thing for your body, right? What does this say? Very cool that you opened yourself up and grew and expanded yourself in this community. Oh, thank you, Ellen. Thank you. Thank you for being part of it. All right. So you have an aligned, purposeful day. And I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern with our Monday live. I don't even know what I call it anymore. So I keep changing the name of it and everything. So, so if at all possible, be here tomorrow for a 2 p.m. live. And if not, you can watch the replay. But thank you again for being here. And over on Instagram, thank you for being here. And have such an amazing day that you almost cannot believe at the end of the day how amazing it was. I wish that for you. Love you guys.